old friend of Stephen's, so I came down to support the movie, and I know how hard he works on. I've seen some of his other productions in the past, some shorts that he's done. So, and my hat goes off to him. You know, to what he's put together today. It's really, as Tony was saying, hard hitting, very gritty, and this climate. I think they're disbanding hundreds of members of the police force. I read in the news today. I think they should show the Home Secretary of that film, and as a little example of what's going on around him. He may not be, I doubt very much if he'll be driving through an estate like that or going to have a cup of tea with somebody like that, but it's still going on, unfortunately. It has been going on for years, places like that, so it's quite an eye-opener, and some very powerful performances in there. Some new, good to see some new young talent coming up as well, and I just like to say, wish everybody on board with it, every success.
I'm very proud to be a part of the end product. Right? I'm pleased for him. I'm chuffed and butt for him. I'm a bit typecast. I wanted to play the nun, but they wouldn't do it, so I ended up playing a South London dodgy geezer. And I'm proud for him. You know, big up to you, my friend. Yeah, it was done on a shoestring. It don't look like it. And any of these projects that makes everyone pull together, and you know, the catering and transport and location and crowd, everyone's up trying to get their nan in it and everything, you know, to make it work, and that's it's romantic to watch happen. That's cool.
The sort of crime situation we are having in London. Yeah. How what do you think about that in terms of how is it reflected in this film?
I was really pleased with the way it was reflected in the film. I think sometimes you see films and TV programs that almost glamorise it, whereas this film, it was very basic. It kind of showed real people, real characters. You know, it didn't just show the hoodies having fights all the time and driving nice cars and stuff. It showed the people that are affected on the other side of it. You know, like the older couples, people on the estate that live around the violence and not exactly involved with it. And I think those people sometimes get overlooked. You know, obviously everyone, the police and that, targeting people that are doing the things, but the people in the background that are being affected by these problems don't always get a fair shout. So hopefully if some people watch this, they realise, you know, you do have old couples on the stage, you do have people that have no interest, no involvement in it, but they get dragged in. So if this can raise awareness of that and nothing else, then I think it can only be a good thing.
I think it was a very significant part that I played, because normally, as a young black actor, we're normally cliched into the role of playing a gangster role, or, you know, very stereotypical. Do you understand? So it was a good thing to do, and the character I played, you know, was a person who was actually in the estate and wanted to change his life and actually make something of himself, you know, and tried to probably be a role model for the people who are into crime, and say that, you know, just because you're in the ghetto doesn't mean you can't get out of it, and try to make something better out of your life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it was a very good role, and it was a challenge for me, because I'm mostly playing like these street roles and things like that, you know, so it's good to have a diverse of character of playing different roles and different parts, you know.
So the relationship from your point of view, if you can just tell us a little bit about it.
It's very violent. I'm abused by this guy continuously. He's an alcoholic, he's drinking and everything. I kind of want to live my life and be at peace with myself, and he's there intruding in it in a violent way. So it's not very pleasant, but I still love him. I want to be,
love him.
Yeah, I love him and I want to be with him.
Yeah, so. And obviously you are sort of, as much as you want to sort of kind of gain protection, you are sort of very aware of the fact that your son is obviously into the crime scene, and you actually didn't want him to kill him in the end.
No, I didn't. No, obviously you don't want anyone to be killed. So, you know, even though he's violent towards me, when I find out he's actually died, it's a huge shock and very upsetting for me at the same time.
Shooting was tough at times, but like, we had a very good cast. We had a really good cast and crew around us, and everybody was always keeping each other up and lively and the rest of it.
Yeah.
It was good. It was hard, but it was good.
Yeah. Was there any sort of particular scene that you found really, really challenging and really difficult, but at the end of it, after you've managed to do it, you sort of like were really happy about it?
Not particularly. It's easier to act angry than it is to behave in a normal way and act more sad and a little bit more upset. But I think the hardest bit was doing some of the stuff where you had to hit people without actually making contact. That was some of the hardest stuff.
In terms of acting, like, is this your first feature film, or what have you done before? Have you done any similar roles before?
It's my first feature film, my first film, definitely. I've been to college, done some acting in the past, theatre, and just by a bit of luck, my dad was having a conversation with Steve. He mentioned he was doing a film and put me in touch with Steve. I read for a few other parts, and fortunately, someone fell out of doing a part, and I slotted in when I could and took the opportunity. So, yeah.
And how was the experience playing that character and just shooting on the sets, you know, just while you were doing the movie?
Well, yeah, I found a great experience doing the character. Obviously, as Steve already said, it was a low-budget film, and what I learned from doing the film was that anything can be achieved regardless of all the obstacles in your way. And everyone came together. It's been a 2-year process. You can see everyone's come together and made it happen. And what he's put on the screen, it shows that it can be done. And it doesn't represent the hardship, or obviously what happened behind the scenes, because there was a lot of bad days, and he's made it look really, really, really good. Basically, I was quite impressed with how he looks now on screen.
How was your experience playing that character? Have you ever played such a character before?
It was the character I was meant to be was just dirty, grubby, grimy, council estate. I worked with my little wife. She was like half the size of me, which was a surprise. And yeah, it was good. We had a good laugh on the set. There's some good friends of mine on the set, and that nice to work with Dave again, obviously, and meet some new friends and that. Yeah, it was good.
Okay. And you've obviously done some other projects before, some acting in other films. What have you done before?
I think this was my 10th film. I've done 4 or 5 films since this.
Okay.
It's just done Bonded by Blood with Terry Stone. We've just done. I was working with Tama and Danny Dyer in Dead Man Running. We've done. Obviously Carlton's film Rise of the Foot Soldier. We've done. Always British gangster films, really. Get a bit typecast now.
My character is drunk and abusive. Boyfriend type character.
Yeah.
He has no interest in the children at all.
Yeah.
He's just interested in Judy's character. So, although he's only in a couple of scenes, you really got to hate him very quickly. Mm-hmm. And I think we achieved that quite well, didn't we? Exactly.
And how's your character's relationship in the film with her son, who is obviously not your real son in the movie?
That's right. I mean, my character has no interest in him at all, and because his own father is in prison, he's got no male role model in his life. What he's seeing from me is his mother getting beaten up every time she comes home.
Yeah.
There's violence in the house, there's tension in the house, and it's really not a nice environment for him to grow up in.
I'm guessing for the first time you saw the final version of the movie. What did you think of it?
It was good. Steve's done really good. You know, he's done put a really good film together with a very, very small budget. You know, he pulled in all his friends and family to say, "Help, can you come and do a little bit here and a bit there?" Which we've done. We all pulled together, and he's put something good together out of very, very small budget. So well done him.
And what did you think? What do you think about the crime scene in London, really, and as compared to how it was reflected in the movie?
Listen, the crime scene in London is going to get worse and worse. You know, I've been around crime for 20 years. You know, and I've seen it get. Back, 20 years ago, there was more respect out on the street, and there was, people that did look after the estate, and they've done it in the right way. And old people and other people would look up to them to look after the estate. Unfortunately now, they're a dying breed. And the problem is now. The hood rats are running it, and the kids of today haven't got any more heroes, and they need to get a hero, and look up to someone and go, that's what I want to be like that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's all the hood rats that are getting the attention, and that's what the kids are looking up to. 20 years ago, it was different, It was like, there was a face on the estate, but you relied on that face to look after the estate, and he did, and he got special benefits for that. But now it's not like that now. It's not one person now. It's a gang. It's a gang culture. The gang gets the respect. So let's be in the gang. Where before it was one person. I want to be like him because he's got it locked down. But it's different now. It's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why it's sometimes important to see movies like this to remind us again of what it's really like.
The thing is, 60% of the people don't see what is there, and it's they're lucky enough not to live in them sorts of estates. But it is there, it is real, it is going on every day, every night. This is going on. You hear a few stories in the papers, but listen, it is going on every day, every single night. Tonight it will happen tonight, and it will happen tomorrow night. But you don't see it. It's so common now. They don't even get in the papers anymore. Prisons are full. What are they going to do?